Hello everybody, Simon Vernon here from dropshipformula.co.uk. Now in this video is me taking part in a podcast with one of my students, Misi. Now Misi has her own podcast called Money Matters, and she invited me onto one of her episodes just to explain to all her listeners about my program for high ticket dropshipping in the UK. If that's something that interests you, then this video is for you. As I said, in this video is a recording of a podcast that I was invited to by one of my members, Misi. Now, Misi is a member of my Dropship Formula high ticket program, and she has a podcast called Money Matters where she discusses all aspects of making money online, saving, and looking to the future. And I was a guest there to talk about dropshipping, high ticket, high price products, and also about my program. So if that's something that interests you, I would recommend you give this a listen. There's not much of a video there, so you can listen to this as a podcast. And if high ticket dropshipping, high price products, high quality products is something that interests you, then why not take a look at my free masterclass? The link will be in the description, where I go into more detail about high ticket dropshipping, how it works, how it's better than a lot of other online methods of making money that I've tried. And also, if you like this video, then please please subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification button so you'll find out of future videos. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Today I've got someone very special with us on the podcast. His name is Simon. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, Missy. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
And thank you very much for accepting to talk to us about drop shipping. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me what drop shipping is. A lot of people are aware of Alibaba, Oberlo, and the other types of drop shipping. Not very many are aware of drop shipping the way you do it. So I thought it would be a good idea to invite you over to talk to us about drop shipping. But for starters, can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you got involved in drop shipping?
Yeah, well, I started with drop shipping, the business model, probably about 5 years ago. But the reason that I got into this business model was that I actually went traveling. I used to work for a corporate company, Dell. I used to be a technical person. The technical lead used to be an implementation of business solutions and things. And I got a little bit disillusioned with the whole career rat race kind of thing. And I don't know if it was foolish of me or what, but I decided to quit my career and travel the world. And I did that for about a year and a half. And then I came to realize that actually, I needed money to survive, Missy. You can only get so far on goodwill and smiles. So I started looking at how I could make money online. And I'd previously made money online as a hobby, just with blogs and Google AdSense and stuff like that when that was big. But I'd never actually done any retail. And so I started my journey of looking for things to do online, looking at how to make money, affiliate marketing, maybe retail arbitrage. I did a little bit of the selling cheap products from China and stuff. But through my journey, the best model that I could find that worked for me at the time, because I still wanted to travel, I still wanted to live abroad. I was living in Southeast Asia at the time, was drop shipping. And like you said, specifically high ticket drop shipping. That gave me the freedom to be able to work from my laptop. I didn't need to hold any inventory. I didn't have to have a warehouse or any products. I didn't really need to be at the end of the phone. It was about bringing customers to the website. So I thought, that's fantastic. That suits me and my situation perfectly. So that's kind of how I got, the short story anyway, Missy, of how I got into drop shipping and what brought me to here today.
That sounds very, very interesting, especially in light of the current climate that we're in with the pandemic, people losing their jobs, looking for alternative sources of income, and even lockdown, because there are a lot of parents that are home, they can't really go out to look for work. I think, for what you've described is just perfect for a time like this. But just to help our listeners who've never heard of drop shipping at all, can you tell us what drop shipping means?
Sure. Essentially, it's a fulfillment model. What I mean by fulfillment is it's a way to get a purchased product or an item to a customer. Generally speaking, previously, we all used to go out to find the products that we wanted to buy, right? Examine them, look at them in the store, maybe compare different retail stores. We'd get in our cars or we'd walk around high streets and find the products that we wanted, purchase them and take them home. Whereas drop shipping is a completely different model, as in we are looking for our purchases online, and the retail store that we actually purchase from online won't have any stock. So an example might be, Missy, that you are selling chandeliers, let's say, right? And I come to your store and I think, oh, this is a nice chandelier. I wonder what else they've got. And I can browse through hundreds and thousands maybe of chandeliers, and I can find the exact product that I want without having to leave my living room or armchair, or I could even be laid in bed, who knows, right? I can browse your store, look at all these products, I can find the one I want, I can order it and have that delivered straight to my doorstep. So from a customer perspective, it has much more convenience and time saving than traditional shopping, right? Going out and comparing products and looking around shops. And from a retailer advantage, so Missy, you are the retailer of a chandelier website, you don't have to have a showroom, and you don't have to have products from all different manufacturers and different brands and different styles and different sizes. You can have a packed store with hundreds maybe of products that people can come and buy, and then when you have a customer, when they make a purchase, you just then go to the supplier that has that and says, okay, I have a customer, please send that item to this address. Here's my payment of, your trade price, your wholesale price that you pay your supplier. They will send it direct to the customer, and you would keep, as the retailer, you would keep the difference, the profit from the retail price to the trade price. So drop shipping really is just a fulfillment model. It's the fact that you just drop an order on the supplier and they will ship it. You don't have to hold any inventory, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. But I suppose the question that a lot of people would have is, how does your model differ from the other types of, drop shipping, things like maybe fulfillment by Amazon and the AliExpress, Alibaba model?
Yeah, as you say, I don't do, when I say I have a program called Dropship Formula, which is a UK-based program. And we target higher price products. So the term is known as high ticket. I think that's more of an American phrase that's come into the sphere of dropshipping. But we target high price products, high ticket products. The fact being that, okay, you can still sell, AliExpress and cheap products from China. Not all products from China are poor quality, but the delivery times are long. You might be looking at 7, 10, 20, even more days to get an item delivered from China. So that's why when I was looking at different business models for me to make money online, that's why I didn't like that business model. The delivery times, a lot of times poor quality, because there's not a great deal of quality control with items coming from China or damages, and if you're trying to get a return, try and return something to China. That's extremely difficult. Like say FBA, or the Fulfilled by Amazon, is another model, but that model would need some capital investment to start, because you would have to source the products most of the time from China, right? You would need a capital investment of some cash to get some products, have your brand put on them, get them shipped to Amazon. Amazon would hold them and then sell them on their platform. Can be a great model, but it needs capital. And it's, there's a lot of stories of Amazon changing rules here, there, and everywhere. You're in the hands of the Amazon gods, really. They can change their ways of working at the flick of a switch, and it can have a devastating effect on you. So I didn't want to put my business in the hands of a third party. So that's why I didn't choose Amazon or trying to sell on eBay. Another popular model is arbitrage, retail arbitrage, where you would scour through online stores, as a customer, and try and find cheap deals and buy those cheap deals for yourself, and then you could send them out to your customers from your location and make a tiny bit of profit, or you could just send them direct to your customer and really annoy your customers. So that was why I didn't like retail arbitrage, and the high ticket drop shipping was the one that really got my focus, because it's using local UK suppliers. Okay, some of these products might be made in China, but they've been quality controlled. There's much more stringent rules about the imports of products, and if they don't meet our laws and our standards, then they won't be sold, right? So there's more control over the quality. They're high price, which means less sales, as in frequency. If you think about it, if you're selling little trinket bracelets or small objects, that are £5-10, in a day, you might have to make 100, 200, maybe even more. I've seen people making, 300, 400, 500 sales per day to generate a decent amount of revenue to make a profit and cover your advertising. But with high ticket, high price products, from one sale, you could be generating, lowest I recommend is £300, and then anything up to 500, 700, 800, even £1,000 per sale. And the amount of profit in that sale and the amount of work that you have to do yourself to process that one single order just made a complete more sense than doing the either retail arbitrage or doing the AliExpress, Alibaba kind of stuff, and having to process hundreds of orders per day, having to communicate with hundreds of customers, having to answer questions from lots of different customers that may or may not have received their product, or it might be faulty, or it might be bad quality. That just made a complete more sense. It was the same amount of work or less work, but for the same amount of money and profit. And then it's something also that is much more scalable. What I mean by scalable is you can grow this into a real business and have an asset at the end of it that, if you want, you could keep, and it will take care of you in future years, or it could be sold. It could be sold on for a profit. And I've sold multiple high ticket stores, my dropshipping stores, because I wanted to get back into teaching. Something I didn't tell you a lot, and my backstory is, before I got into as a tech role with Dell, I was actually a tutor. I used to teach clinicians, doctors, lots of NHS staff, that kind of thing. IT skills, Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint, all those kind of things. So I came from a background of having education and passing skills on and knowledge to other people. And although I enjoyed the building of these businesses, it didn't fulfill me as much as what I'm doing now, and that is running a training program, selling my knowledge of how to move forward with high ticket drop shipping.
This is amazing. One of the things I've been able to pick out of what you've just said is the advantage of high ticket drop shipping compared to the others is, one, there's control over the quality of the products. There's the delivery issue. You can deliver a lot quicker than if you're bringing it in from China. Returns are a lot easier. It's not so capital intensive, and you're in control. You're in control of your own business. And also the fact that you do less work. I like the idea of doing less for more. I think it's all about working smarter, not harder. Also the fact that it's scalable, and it can be an asset. It's a business that becomes an asset that you can sell, or even, you can, if you decide to hold on to it, but it becomes a proper business. It's no longer, as I would call it, a side hustle. I mean, this is really good. And to be honest, it's the reason why I got involved in drop shipping as well. I just like the idea that if I'm going to offer service to people, it's good quality service, not just because everybody else is doing it. And I do know that drop shipping in the UK is a new concept. When I first got involved in drop shipping, I got involved in a similar concept, but American based, and it was just so difficult to do. But doing it in the UK, I think, is a really good idea. And Simon, you talked to us about the fact that you run dropshipping formula. You created it. I would like you to talk to my listeners about this, because I want as many of them who want an alternative source of income, because I have a lot of people talking to me about dropshipping formula. How can I get involved? And I tell them what I know, but you're the expert. You've been doing this for years. You've been doing it successfully. You've sold businesses, that you've created using this model. So I would like you to talk about dropshipping formula and how my listeners can get access, to your program.
Yes, I'll just touch on a point you made there, Missy, about American courses and American programs. Yes, the UK is behind America when it comes to this business model, especially high ticket. In the USA, high ticket dropshipping has been a thing for a good 5, maybe 6 years. And that's how I first got started. I enrolled on an American course. Some of your listeners may have heard of it, maybe where you came from originally, which is Dropship Lifestyle, Anton Kraly's course. I started with that journey within the USA. I started trying to make the USA courses work in the UK, and I found it extremely difficult. Like you said, their formula or their criteria is US based, so it doesn't really map to how we do things in the UK. We shop a little bit differently. We're not as aggressive when it comes to marketing and sales. We have different laws as well as what the US has. So that's essentially how I first started with my journey through learning dropshipping. But I had to figure a lot of it out myself. And through that journey, I actually became a coach for Anton Kraly and Dropship Lifestyle. I coached a lot of his students for about a year, or just over a year. And in that time, I got a lot of UK students that were struggling, and I was trying to coach them, half an hour once a week, or maybe an hour a week, which is extremely difficult. And it was actually another student that said to me, Simon, you should make your own program for this in the UK. You're ahead of the curve. You figured out a lot of the issues that we're trying to figure out. You've got the answers that we want. You'd be better off putting this into your own program. And so I did. I made the choice to do that and decided to create Dropship Formula. Dropship Formula was created, it's been going nearly 2 years now. You won't find that much on the internet about it because I only released it to the public January of this year, 2020. The reason being was I wanted to test it. I wanted to make sure that what I thought I had in my head and the ideas that I had and the formula, that's why I called it Dropship Formula, and what my formula would work. So I took a small group of students, around 10, 15 people, and I taught them. We did a lot of coaching, evening calls. They helped me develop the program. So for about a year, the course was in development until January when it was released. And now it is starting to gain momentum, as you know, of being a member. We have quite a good amount of members, and it continues to grow. And it will continue to grow. My program is an online program. It's accessible 24/7, and the methods that it's delivered is online lessons. So it's video lessons where I break down the concepts, I break down the theory behind a lot of the subject matter first, because I think it's important to have an understanding of how things work and why you're doing things, which is something I noticed that a lot of courses and a lot of trainers don't do, is they don't break down the theory, and people follow step by step and then get to the point and think, actually, why have I done that? What does that actually do? I don't understand the effects that change has made. So I've invested quite a lot of time in breaking down subjects and breaking down the theory of lessons and then showing people. So I do screen recordings. So it's kind of, you get an opportunity to look over my shoulder, and I build a store as an example. Chandeliers, that's why I mentioned it earlier, Missy, is the example I use in the video lessons. You get to see me build a chandelier store. I'm not sure how many people go out and build their own chandelier stores and copy exactly my idea, but I also give you the skills, the criteria, everything about selecting your niche. So looking at what products, looking at what makes a good product to sell, what products you would want to stay away from, price criteria, demographics, all this stuff I have right at the beginning. So I take people from zero knowledge, not knowing anything. You don't have to have any experience with drop shipping. It probably helps, actually, because if you've got experience of AliExpress and Alibaba and Facebook ads, that knowledge is counterintuitive to what we're doing. We're doing things the opposite way around. We're not using Facebook ads. We're using Google ads and direct traffic. So I take people from no knowledge, not knowing what products to sell, not knowing what niche to enter, to picking that niche, building the site, contacting suppliers. Now that's a big one. That's something that people, for some reason, have quite a bit of an anxiety around it. And I know I can understand why. I was the same, first time cold calling suppliers, not really knowing what you were talking about, and being anxious that you might get asked questions that you don't know the answers to. But I put everything, all of my knowledge and all of the knowledge that is shared by other people, from the beta program to students that I've worked with in the past when I coached, I put all of that into the lessons for Dropship Formula, so that you would have everything you needed to be able to go out and contact high quality product suppliers in the UK and sign them up and get them on board, so you are an authorized retailer of their products. Get those on your site and then push traffic towards it. And that's the big part, pushing traffic. In my program, we don't use Facebook ads. Facebook ads is not a great way to sell high ticket products. If you think about it, most people on Facebook are just there to see what their friends and family are doing, maybe look at some videos or jokes or whatever, right? Catch up on a little bit of things that they're interested in. They're not really there to buy products. So that's the difficulty with this AliExpress, Alibaba, Oberlo type stuff, is you've got to interrupt people. You've got to stop them from browsing and get them to look at your product. And then you've got to make them think that they want your product. So, with high ticket dropshipping, we don't do that. We target people that are actively looking for products. So if I'm looking to buy a chandelier and I go to Google and I type in, buy glass chandelier with 8 candles, you can, Missy, let's say the example, you've got a store, you can have your advertising show up when I search for that specific search, and I've got buying intent. I'm actually looking to purchase. You're not interrupting me in any way. You're not interrupting my leisure time. I'm there actively searching to buy a product. So you can say, there you go, Simon. I've got this product. Come and look at my retail store. And when I click that ad, I'll get straight on your product page. And all the information is there. And hopefully, I'm going to trust you as a retailer. I'm going to look at your site and think, yeah, this looks nice and professional. And if you follow Dropship Formula, it will do. Because I have a template in there, a free theme that put everything in there for conversion optimization for high tickets, and you will make that purchase, and then repeat, and scale, and that's just spending more on advertising, getting more customers in. And Google is a fantastic machine where you can do that, right? If you can imagine having a piece of software where you can put £10 in and get 100 back. or you put £50 in and get 500. You put 1,000 in, right, and get and get 10,000 back. It's once you get it going, and once you get direct in the traffic to exactly where you want it, to people that are looking to buy, that have buyer intention, it really can be done that simply. It takes time, it takes learning, it takes determination and overcoming obstacles, but it really is. And if people are interested, if your listeners are interested, the best thing to do is go to dropshipformula.co.uk/masterclass, and I have there, it's a pre-recorded masterclass, but I will break down in more detail than what I've just said just now. I will break down those concepts for you. I've got my 5 key principles to high-ticket dropshipping in that presentation, and I've also got more information on my program as well for anyone that's interested.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, and I think it's amazing. It's really amazing. And I suppose the next question people would ask is, how easy is it to, start a store using the dropship formula?
I would say it's very easy. The software nowadays, and I do recommend using Shopify. Shopify is a great platform. It was around long before AliExpress or below type business model. It's a very effective way to create your own website, and because it has an app store, you don't need to know any programming, coding, or anything like that. You can add in extra functionality, and that functionality will get you to the point where you can actually compete against larger retailers. So you could easily add in a piece of software that will send out remarketing emails, so emails to people that may have abandoned checkout and not purchased. And the fact that you can do that without having to know any programming languages or having to hire somebody is the true fact that the reason why I recommend Shopify. I've tried other platforms, self-hosted WooCommerce, with WordPress, etc. But you're constantly doing updates, constantly breaking parts of your website when WordPress has an update or the theme has an update, and it just wastes so much of your time. The convenience of Shopify, plus the ability to be able to expand it, is why we choose that. And following Dropship Formula, you will have a professional looking website, because I have a theme that I have coded myself with all the optimizations. There's plenty of great themes out there, as you probably know, Missy. You can buy these themes out of the sandbox. It's probably one of the biggest popular ones, but it's created for generic audience. It's not created for a specific use. So it has lots of features, but a lot of those features are useless in high ticket dropshipping. So that's why I created my own. So you can install that theme, follow along through the lessons over the shoulder, and have a professional, trustworthy. That's probably the most important thing. If you think about what I said previously, is when I land on your website, let's say, that example, I make an instant decision. You probably think about this yourself, and your listeners can think about this, is when you go to a website to purchase something, consciously or unconsciously, you're judging that website on its appearance and trustworthiness. You're thinking, well, if they have misspellings, if they can't have menus that don't look correct, or they've got dead links, do these people really care about their business? Am I going to get my product on time? Is it going to be of good quality? Is it going to arrive damaged? All these things you very quickly make an assessment on. So having a professional and trustworthy website goes a long way to sealing that sale, and has least resistance. People will think, yeah, beautiful website, trustworthy, it's got all the right signs, it's got reviews, etc., and make that purchase from you.
Very interesting, and I can attest to that, because when people have been on my website and I use your theme,
yeah,
they've asked me who built my website for me. And when I say, I did it myself, they're like, oh no, you're next. I'm like, no, I use a theme, which is part of the program that I run. So yeah, I can attest to the fact that yes, it's an amazing theme, and it makes your website look really, really professional as well. And the other question I suppose people would ask is, if they already have a store, an online store, how can they migrate that store to the dropship formula, or would they have to start all over again?
If you already have a store, if we're talking on Shopify or some other platform, it's probably better to leave it where it is and start fresh. There'll be certain things that you will pick up through my lessons that you may not have picked up, and you might have to undo certain things. Or I just think it would be a lot straightforward and a lot more simple, and you wouldn't miss out on anything if you were to start fresh. I mean, Shopify give you 2 weeks on a free trial, so you've got that 2-week period to start again from scratch. If you had a high ticket dropshipping store already on Shopify, you could easily just install my theme. So if it was something that you'd already started, the theme could go over the top and you would just have to configure the theme. But I think personally I would recommend starting afresh.
Okay. Yeah, that's true, I suppose. The other question also is, how much does it cost?
My program?
Yes.
My program's price currently is $597, so £600. Right?
Wow, that is dead cheap.
It is, and I know it's cheap, and I have lots of comments, people saying that it's very cheap. It is priced at that for a reason, because it's quite new. I want to get it out there, get people on there, get it proven. And as you can see, if you go to the homepage of my site, there's reviews there. I have review videos now, so it will increase. I'm guessing this podcast will go live straight away or within the next day or so. So we're currently August. What is it? August the 19th?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would imagine within the next 4 to 6 weeks, the price will be going up. Price of the program will go up. Price of the individual coaching that I do as well, because that's something extra that I offer outside of the program. Is I am also available as a coach still. It's not just buy my program and you're left to it. We have other ways of support, members only group, and we also have a Facebook Live, which is tonight. I don't know if you're going to join us, Missy, tonight.
I hope to be able to.
Yeah, so there'll be the Facebook Live tonight. On every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, I'll still do that. But yes, the price will be going up from $597. Yes.
Yeah, that was the other question I was going to ask. Was is there any support? Of course, I know there's support, but just for the sake of the listeners, but you've answered that question as well. And the other question that I get is, what products can I do? I know the answer to this, but this is for the sake of the listeners. What products can I look to selling if I decide to go for drop shipping formula?
I would never tell anyone which products to sell, to be honest. I will never pick a niche for somebody. That is a business decision that an individual has to make. What I will do is guide them towards that decision. So in module 1, that's all about niche selection, right? So you would have a certain criteria to follow that will help you get rid of bad ideas, what things are not good to sell. And at the end of it, you'll probably have 4 or 5, maybe even less. And at the end of the day, it's a decision you have to make. Now, I know this simplifies things, Missy, but I generally say, look, with high-ticket dropshipping, it's all about demand. That's important, right? It's not looking for products that no one is selling. It's not looking for products that may be on the verge of being on the rise. It's looking for products that sell, everyday products, right? And there's products that I would never dream of selling myself that I know other people have done. An example I always give is I've got a husband and wife friend that are from Australia. I met them when I was traveling in Southeast Asia. And they sell mirrors. Now, I personally would never sell mirrors because of the fragility of it, right? I know that there'll be aftercare support requirements. There's going to be breakages. 100% there'll be breakages of a mirror when it's delivered. Might not be every single one. It might be as low as 5%, but it's going to be there. And it it was a choice that I wanted, something where I could travel around and not have to be on the phone, right? But they make it work. They make it sell. And I also give another example of two people with the exact same niche. When I was coaching for Dropship Lifestyle, they had the exact same niche. One of them went on and did really, really well with it and is actually a coach now. The other one came against hurdles and gave up, within 2 months of starting, said it couldn't be done. So it's not always down to the niche. A lot of it is down to the individual. There's an element of tenacity. There's an element of being able to overcome problems and obstacles that come in your way. So everyday products is probably the answer to your question, but we don't encourage talking about our niche. The reason being is there are some, I'm not saying pointing any fingers, but there are people that are lazy and that don't want to go through the process, because it is a process of selecting your niche, and they'll just copy the first person that they know has already got a site up and running. So we don't generally talk about our individual niches, but in answer to the question, it's everyday products, things that you might see and utilize every day, right? A bed, a sofa, chest of drawers, right? All those kind of things are high ticket products that could be drop shipped.
Fantastic. I mean, this has really been amazing.